Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and Mr. Prosecutor General. Thank you for being here and testifying, and thank you to you and your team for all your hard work. I know it's not easy to hear these stories day in and day out and to see all of this evidence, so we really do want to say thank you for everything that you and your team are doing, and please take that back to them. As all my colleagues have said, the war crimes we've heard about today and that we've read about in the news are horrifying and gut-wrenching. And, you know, we know there have already been over 22,000 civilian casualties and about 17.6 Ukrainians who are in need of humanitarian assistance. And we know that the war is still going on. And as everyone here has said today, accountability and justice is so incredibly important. That's why I'm supportive of the ICC investigation into the war crimes that are happening. And actually, last Congress, I introduced and was able to get legislation passed that allows the U.S. to provide support to that ICC investigation. But we know that support hasn't happened yet. And I was wondering if you could talk to the importance of the ICC investigation and why international support, and especially U.S. support, is so important.
Thank you for this question. You know, once again, when I met first time with Karim Khan, it was just few weeks upon my appointment. It was in August or beginning of September. And when we talk about our cooperation, I understand that he is very committed. I understand that his team is very strong. And when we started to also to prioritize the cases, and when we choose this case of deportation of children as a matter of priority, but there are many others, we understand that we will have the result we have at the moment. First in history, the incumbent president of permanent member of Security Council is named as alleged war criminal. I understand how is important this support, because the level of attention, the level of awareness to war crimes which are prosecuted by the prosecutor of the International Criminal Court is much higher than for some cases which are prosecuted by us on the national level. I already mentioned the complementarity role of the ICC, but we discussed this with Karim, and I'm ready even to transfer the cases to the ICC, which we can finalize internally, because there are cases about war crimes which are world known, and the survivors of these cases are, from my point of view, should receive their matter of justice even on international level. And we will fully cooperate with the team of Karim Khan. We even declared, or publicly announced, that we create task forces for specific war crimes which could be later transferred to the ICC. So in this respect, full support to all endeavors of the ICC. Please know that if you support the ICC, you're supporting us.
Thank you, and I hope that those who are standing in the way of that assistance getting transferred hear what you have to say today. Really quickly, given the numerous organizations and actors currently documenting atrocities, how is your office preserving the chain of evidence and ensuring the documentation is viable? What more can the U.S. do to help you with that process, and also to help make sure that the survivors and potential witnesses are getting everything they need to be able to provide the kind of testimony you need?
First of all, once again, we need IT solutions in order to not to lose any piece of electronic evidence, digital evidence we have. This is now one of the most strategic issues I'm dealing with. With regard to witnesses, victims, and survivors, of course, we have changed approach to prosecution, for instance, of conflict-related sexual violence crimes. I have changed the strategy of investigation of these crimes. All our work now is survivor centered. We used the principles of the Murat Code, and we train internationally, also train our investigators and prosecutors how to communicate with the survivors of sexual violence. This is one of the matter of my priorities, and I just go ahead. The issue is that the survivors from vulnerable groups, they need much more care and treatment, not only protection on and their support for the matter of justice for them, but also as a matter of their care for psychological support, financial even support. We are dealing with these cases in Ukraine, and usually we have support from NGOs and from also state institutions. Some of these projects are supported by the First Lady, who is personally dealing with shelters for the victims and survivors of the sexual violence crimes. So we have a system, but even if in some case we will need and we will think that it will be important for these victims and survivors to feel even safer than they are, maybe transferring them to the other countries would be a proper help for them.
Got you. Well, thank you again for all of your work. And Mr. Chairman, I yield back.